in a quiet town called Hawkins, Indiana. Beneath the surface of ordinary life lies a secret the world was never meant to see. A small town filled with kids, laughter, bicycles, and neon lights of the 1980s. But also with government labs, unspeakable experiments, and a dark mirror world that feeds on fear. This is the story of Stranger Things, a Netflix phenomenon that didn't just bring back nostalgia. It resurrected the magic of mystery, friendship, and fear. Today, we dive deep into the world of Stranger Things. The story, the characters, the nightmares, and why this show became one of the greatest supernatural sagas of our time. Welcome to INFOWORLD. Let's go back to Hawkins. Season 1, The Vanishing of Will Byers. It all began one cold night in 1983. Young Will Byers rides his bike home after a night of games with his friends, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas. But as he passes the forest, something follows. Something from the shadows. Something not human. By the next morning, Will Byers has vanished. The town of Hawkins wakes up to fear. His mother, Joyce, feels the world collapsing. She knows her son is alive, she can feel it. But no one believes her. Not the police, not the neighbors, only her trembling heart. And soon, strange things begin to happen. Lights flicker, radios crackle. Joyce hears her son's voice through the walls, through the electricity itself. She believes he's communicating from somewhere else. Wanders into a small diner on the edge of town. She says almost nothing, but one thing is clear: she's running from something. Her name is 11. With her haunting stare and quiet fear, she hides powers beyond imagination. She can move objects with her mind. She can enter other realms through concentration. And she's the key to everything happening in Hawkins. Mike does to find Will, to face the darkness that took him. Deep below Hawkins lies a laboratory, a government facility conducting experiments that tear open the veil between worlds. A parallel dimension, the Upside Down. Cold, toxic, filled with spores and monsters. And one of them, the Demogorgon, crossed over. The kids, the sheriff, and Joyce unite. Together they uncover the truth. The lab opened a gate. And 11, a test subject of cruel experiments, was the reason it happened. In the final moments, 11 confronts the monster. A child born in a lab, fighting for her only friends. She sacrifices herself to destroy the Demogorgon. And for a moment, it feels like Hawkins is safe. But the final scene tells another story. Will Byers is home, yet something inside him still connects to the other side. The nightmare isn't over. Season 2, The Shadow returns. A year later, Hawkins is healing, or pretending to. The kids are older, the trauma buried deep, and the town still whispers about what really happened. But the Upside Down doesn't forget. Will Byers begins seeing visions, flashes of a dark sky, red lightning, and a massive shadow moving across a toxic world. A creature beyond the Demogorgon, something that controls everything inside that dimension. They call it the Mind Flayer. Meanwhile, 11 has survived. Hidden by Sheriff Hopper in a cabin deep in the woods. She tries to learn to live like a normal girl, though her past refuses to let her go. Her memories of the lab, her mother, and her pain pull her back toward her truth. The season expands, showing us that Hawkins isn't a random town. It's a point of power, a doorway between dimensions. As Will becomes the Mind Flayer's host, the darkness seeps into Hawkins again. The kids, the adults, even the lab workers all find themselves facing something far greater than they can understand. And yet in the heart of this chaos, we see courage. Mike never gives up on 11. Joyce fights like a mother possessed. Hopper turns from a broken man into a protector. and 11 returns from exile to close the gate. In an unforgettable finale, she stands before the rift, blood streaming from her nose, hands raised in fury, and screams as she seals the door between worlds. But the Mind Flayer still watches from the other side, waiting. Season 3, The Summer of Chaos. It's 1985. The colors are brighter, the music louder, the mall booming. But Hawkins is still haunted. The Starcourt Mall becomes the new heart of the town, and unknowingly, the new battlefield. Russians have built a secret lab beneath the mall, trying to reopen the gate to the Upside Down. And something escapes, a fragment of the Mind Flayer that infects Billy, Max's troubled brother. This season shifts from mystery to full-scale horror. The Mind Flayer returns in physical form, possessing humans, turning them into mindless extensions of itself. One by one, people disappear. And when the truth unfolds, it's grotesque. The Mind Flayer builds a monster made of flesh and bone, a creature born from Hawkins itself. Amidst the terror, the kids grow up. Mike and 11 struggle with love and distance. Dustin returns from camp with new confidence, and a girlfriend named Susie who loves to sing. But innocence fades fast in Hawkins. The season blends 80s nostalgia with tragedy, a reminder that growing up often means losing what once made us feel safe. The final battle, inside Starcourt Mall, becomes a turning point. 11, now weakened from overuse of her powers, fights to save her friends. Hopper and Joyce face the Russian operation head-on, a mission that ends with an explosion and Hopper's apparent death. The world believes he's gone. Joyce takes her family and 11 away from Hawkins, leaving their haunted town behind. But far away in a frozen Russian base, a guard whispers a chilling phrase. Not the American. Hopper is alive. Season 4, The Return of the Monster Within. Stranger Things Season 4 brings everything to a darker, grander scale. Years have passed, the kids are now teenagers, and Hawkins once again becomes the center of the storm. The gates are awakening. The Upside Down is evolving. And a new villain emerges, one who is not just a monster, but a man twisted by pain. His name is Vecna. Unlike the creatures before, Vecna speaks, thinks, and hunts through trauma. He doesn't just kill. He invades minds, feeds on guilt, and destroys souls from within. Each death leaves a rift, a crack between the worlds, slowly tearing Hawkins apart. We learn that Vecna is connected to 11's past. Before she escaped the lab, before the gate opened, there was a boy, Henry Creel. Patient 1. The first child with psychic powers. The one who murdered his own family and became the true monster behind the Upside Down. 11 didn't create the Upside Down. She banished him there. And in that act, she unleashed hell. As the story unfolds, we see the show's best emotional depth. Max, haunted by her brother Billy's death, becomes Vecna's next target. Her friends fight to save her. It's nostalgia wrapped in terror. A love letter to the 1980s, crafted with modern storytelling precision. It brought together genres that rarely coexist. Science fiction, horror, friendship, loss, humor, and heart. At its core, it's about connection. Children who face cosmic horror but never lose their innocence. Parents who rediscover courage. Outcasts who become heroes. In a small town that mirrors the darkness within all of us. The Duffer Brothers didn't just create a story. They built a world where every fear has meaning. The Upside Down isn't just a place. It's a reflection of grief, guilt, and secrets. Every season explores a deeper theme. Season 1, The Loss of Innocence. Season 2, The Return of Trauma. Season 3, Growing Up and Letting Go. Season 4, Confronting the Monsters Within. Even the characters evolve like real people. 11 learns what it means to be human. Hopper finds redemption through fatherhood. Max becomes a symbol of survival. And the group of kids remind us that friendship is the strongest power of all. Cinematically, the show revolutionized Netflix. Its lighting, music, and set design turned nostalgia into visual poetry. The synthwave soundtrack, the VHS glow, the arcade lights, all merged into a world that feels both familiar and terrifying. And yet, it's the emotional truth beneath it all that keeps us watching. Because Stranger Things is not just about monsters. It's about the feeling that something dark always lurks beneath normal life. That growing up means fighting invisible demons, both real and emotional. Legacy and what's next. From a small Netflix series to a cultural revolution, Stranger Things became a modern mythology. It shaped a generation of fans, turned its young cast into global icons, and reignited the era of supernatural storytelling on streaming platforms. As we await the final season, the stakes have never been higher. Hawkins is collapsing. The Upside Down is breaking through. And 11 must face the one being who mirrors her most, Vecna. The final battle won't just decide the fate of Hawkins. It will decide the meaning of everything the show stood for. Friendship, sacrifice, love, and the endless war between light and dark. In the end, Stranger Things teaches one timeless truth. The monsters we fight are not always from another world. Sometimes they're born inside us. And maybe, just maybe, the only thing stronger than fear is hope. Outro deep cinematic voice. This was Stranger Things, a story of friendship and fear, of power and pain, and the fragile beauty of being human in a world that never stops turning upside down. If you felt the chills, if you remembered your own childhood adventures, or if you simply love great storytelling, then this story was for you. Subscribe to INFOWORLD, where stories live beyond the screen.